Hi everybody, Mike Casluccio. I'm doing a little video on an AR tool that I used in a previous paper, and I wanted to show an actual live demonstration of how to use the tool. So I made a recording with my phone. The app is available both on Google and on Apple. And just from their website, to show you real quick, it actually has the ability to do scanning in 3D, and then that scan can then be used in augmented reality. It works pretty well. It takes a little bit to get used to, but let me just switch over to the phone video that I made, and I'll show you how this works out. So, fire up the app. Here's a couple of scans that I've done. Actually, the top three are scans that I've done. The elephant comes with the tool, and what you start with is a document that you have to print out, which is their reference page, and you pick a little object. And for this one I used a little wooden pig. I found that objects need to stay within the dome. You use your phone to basically take image slices, and it uses the reference map to take slices across this hemisphere of the object. You take one set of images with the object in one orientation, and then for better resolution you can change the orientation and take a second scan, and it will then merge those two scans together and provide a file that can be used in augmented reality. And actually it's exportable to Microsoft to use in the 3D paint tools and the 3D objects tools, which is kind of cool. The tool on the phone has the ability also to animate these, and I'll show you that in a little bit with the elephant that comes with it. The elephant actually will animate and walk, where the scans that you do normally basically just bounce around on the table. So I'm going to pause for a second so I can speed this up. I'm going to scan this one hemisphere and then lay the object down and scan again. So let me pause so I can speed it up a little bit, and I'll come back once we have the object. So the first rendering is done, and I hit the button to actually lay it down and take another rendering. And I'll pause again so you don't have to hear me talk through this set of hundreds and hundreds of images it has to take. So the processing is done, and it will merge the two images together. As it renders them and puts them together, it picks up a lot more of the texture and the shadows and the shape. So when it's used in augmented space, it actually is a better view. I found that certain objects lost some of their clarity and some of their details. Specifically the snowman, he lost a lot of his face. But so here's the actual object and a piece of paper just flipped over, and then I can drop the augmented object on the paper. You can tell the difference, but there it is. It's it's in augmented reality. I can take this and I can pinch it and size it so you can zoom the actual image, move it around, twirl it, rotate it. It's got a lot of uses for capturing files and sending them to other people. There's actually a way to export these files in a format that can then be used in a 3D printer, which was kind of my end goal. So the example that comes with the program is the elephant, and the elephant's rendered beautifully, and it has the actual details of movement. You'll notice the shadows are actually based on a light source that they've picked, and the movement, as you can see, is just ridiculous. The movement on the other objects basically just bounces around, but this object, and there's a couple of other objects that are out there that I guess you can purchase, go through and move in augmented space, which is really, really cool. So one of the other objects that I did was this little finger puppet, and this one I spent a lot of time and I went much slower on the scanning, and I found that the slower you go rotating or moving around the object, the better quality you'll get of the image. The little wooden pig I rushed pretty fast. This guy, this little finger puppet, we call him Glowworm, he actually came out pretty well. So that's the augmented reality item or tool that I was using, and like I said, the purpose that I was originally looking for was to be able to build an object, scan it, turn it into a file, and then transmit it somewhere so someone can use a 3D printer to render a model of that object. So thanks for checking out my video, and have a good one.